There are things you have held onto for a very long time, held so long that your hands are tired, yet you still do not dare let go, holding onto a relationship that is no longer warm, holding onto a promise that no longer has anyone willing to keep it, holding onto an old memory, even though it only makes your heart ache more every time it returns, holding onto someone who has changed, holding onto a version of yourself that no longer fits. And the strangest thing is, many times, you know very clearly that thing is no longer saving you, but you still cling, not because you still believe so much, but because you are afraid of losing it, afraid of emptiness, afraid that after letting go, there will be nothing left for you to hold on to. There are nights you lie there, very still, but your mind is loud. You ask yourself, what exactly am I trying to hold on? A person, a relationship, a dream, or just the familiar feeling of still having something to wait for? Because sometimes, the thing we cannot let go of is not necessarily because it is still worthy, but because we have lived with it for too long. So long that even pain becomes familiar, exhaustion becomes familiar, hurt becomes familiar. We begin to confuse attachment with endurance, confuse love with clinging, confuse perseverance with stubbornness, and so we stay. We stay in places where our hearts have already run dry. We stay in conversations that now feel like obligation. We stay in hopes that even we know are growing thinner every day. We stay not because we are happy, but because we do not yet have the courage to walk away. There is a kind of exhaustion that runs very deep. It is when you are no longer happy in the thing you are holding on to, but you are not strong enough to leave either. You stand in the middle, not truly belonging to either side. If you stay, you suffocate. If you let go, it hurts. If you continue, you grow depleted. If you stop, you feel like a failure. That is a very dark place in a person, because there, you are not only fighting the situation, you are fighting yourself. Fighting the part of you that still wants to believe one more time. Fighting the part of you that keeps thinking, maybe if I try just a little more, maybe if I endure just a little more, maybe if I wait just a little longer, everything will return to the way it was. But the most painful thing is, deep down, you know some things cannot return anymore, because you have not tried hard enough, but because they have already reached the point where they must end. Only the human heart is strange that way. It can endure a very long time for something that has already died. Just because it cannot accept the feeling of losing it. People often think courage means holding on tightly, protecting something until the very end. Never giving up, keeping going no matter how much it hurts. And yes, sometimes, not giving up is courage. But there are also times when the very thing that exhausts you the most is that you do not dare let go. Do not dare look straight at the truth that you are holding onto something that is no longer holding onto you. You are staying with someone who is no longer truly staying. You are being loyal to a dream that has long become nothing but a burden. You are trying to save something that no longer even wants to live. Have you ever felt that way? Trying so hard, but the harder you try, the more you lose yourself. Loving so much, but the more you love, the lonelier you feel. Waiting so long, but the longer you wait, the emptier you feel. There are even moments when you no longer know whether you are holding on because of love or because you are afraid to face the emptiness that will come after losing it. Because truthfully, what keeps people from letting go is often not love, but ego. It is the feeling that you have already invested too much, sacrificed too much, gone too far. So if you stop now, it feels like admitting that all the pain you went through was for nothing. And no one likes that feeling. And no one wants to look at a long stretch of road and realize, I went the wrong way. I placed my trust in the wrong place. I loved something that could not be saved. I tried for something that could never bloom. So we keep holding on, not because there is still real hope, but because we do not want to face the truth that some losses do not begin on the day we let go. They began long ago. We just refuse to see them. There are relationships. The label is still there. The messages are still there. The conversations are still there. But the presence is gone. The sincerity has faded. The connection has already broken from within. Only the shell remains, and we hold that shell as if it were something precious, while our hearts grow emptier every day. Some dreams are the same. We once believed they were what we had to pursue at any cost. We once saw them as part of our identity, as an answer to our worth. But the farther we go, the more tired we become. The old light is gone. The old belief is gone. The feeling of being alive when touching that dream is gone. Only pressure remains. Only responsibility remains. Only the fear of being seen as someone who gave up remains. And because we are afraid of being seen as weak, we keep carrying something that no longer belongs to us through day after day. That is how many people hurt themselves, very quietly, very consistently, for a very long time. Some people cannot let go of a person. Some people cannot let go of a past. Some people cannot let go of a role. An image, a belief about themselves. They are used to being the strong one. So they do not dare admit they are tired. They are used to being the one who gives. So they do not dare pull back when they are being drained. They are used to being the one who tries until the end. So they do not dare stop, even when there is nothing left inside. But maybe what hurts people the most is not losing. It is having lost something a long time ago and still pretending they are keeping it. That kind of pain does not explode. It lingers. It stretches on. It wears a person down from the inside, a little each day, a little each night, until one morning you wake up and no longer have enough strength to continue the same way. You no longer have the energy to explain, no longer the desire to hope. And no longer the strength to tell yourself just a little more. You just sit there for a very long time and realize, mate, the thing I fear most is not letting go, but living many more years inside something that no longer lets me be myself. That moment is very quiet, but very real. It does not look like the grand decisions people imagine. There is no background music. An sentence that suddenly wakes you up all at once. There is only an exhaustion deep enough that you can no longer lie to yourself. Only one very small truth, but it cuts very deep, that there are things, the more you hold on, the more you lose, the more you cling, the more you hurt, the longer you wait, the emptier you become. And then you find yourself standing before a very hard question. If this no longer gives me peace, if this person no longer allows me to be myself, if this path is only wearing me down day by day, then why am I still here? Because of love, because of responsibility, because of hope, or because I still cannot accept leaving? Not everyone can answer that question right away, because letting go has never been simple. It is not just leaving something behind. It is leaving behind a part of yourself that was tied to it. Leaving behind habits, leaving behind memory, leaving behind fantasies about one day everything becoming beautiful again. Leaving behind the version of yourself that once believed, once waited, once sacrificed, once thought that loving enough could keep everything from slipping away. That is why letting go hurts. It hurts deeply, because it is wrong, but because it forces us to accept something we have avoided for too long. That not everything we try to hold on to belongs to us. That not everything we love can stay. That not every journey that lasts a long time is worth continuing. And that not everything stays alive just because we keep gripping it tightly. There are things that in order to keep living, we must let go. There are people that in order to remain ourselves, we must leave. There are dreams that in order to be honest with our hearts, we must dare say enough. But before we can say that, people usually have to pass through a very deep place of inner conflict, where on one side is the pain of losing, and on the other side is the pain of continuing. And many times it is there that we begin to touch a truth very few people want to admit, that sometimes the bravest act is not holding on until the end, but daring to let go of something that is slowly killing you in silence.